Protect professional values in the media sector, journalists are enjoined to respect foundational ethics of their professions by seeking the truth, observing doctrines of accuracy, that of investigation, fairness, and pursuance of balance in their stories to deepen confidence in the profession. This was disclosed at the BBC World Service Festival in Abuja. Maria Mohammed reports.
Journalism in Nigeria, like other African countries, has evolved as African journalists now tell African stories in their own way.
The days of parachute journalism, where people would have to fly from the West to come and tell our stories, are over. Today, African journalists are able to pick the microphone. We're able to tell our own story. And there's nothing good like that. We know our stories best. We live with those issues, and we cannot expect a white person to fly in to come and tell those stories. We are the ones telling our stories. In the area of digital journalism, Africa has not been sitting. We've been doing our bit, despite the problems we have on the continent, despite the financial problems, the turmoil, the problems that journalists face in their various news houses. I believe there is hope for the African journalist.
But it has faced a lot of challenges, like political interference, lack of trust from the public, poor welfare for journalists, and lack of funding for newsrooms. With these, some journalists compromise their stories in exchange for money and better welfare to make ends meet. This has encouraged lack of professionalism, as some journalists no longer have confidence in journalists because they believe the truth has been jeopardized. It gave rise to citizens' reliance on online or new media for information, as anyone with a laptop or smartphone can build their own newsroom, become writers and publishers, thereby misleading the general public by giving fake news.
Fake news is a problem for the world, and we have to deal with it in a more holistic and pragmatic manner. How do we do this? New technologies are coming. We have to just be at the cutting edge to understand how to separate the good from the chaff. I think that is always going to be a learning experience, and once we put our minds to it and we decide to acquaint ourselves with the academics of it, we will be able to understand and separate the bad from the good.
This is why this group of journalists have come together to mentor these students on the importance of following the ethics of the profession. They believe it will make a huge difference in regaining the confidence placed on the media as the watchdog of any society. They also shed light on what they have been through on the field and how risky it can get.
Competitive is dangerous, I know. My colleague got killed. Many other African journalists are being killed. But do we have any choice? Do we have that luxury? If we don't tell that story, who else is going to tell it? So in as much as the difficulties are awash, we must have that courage and tell ourselves that no matter the circumstances, we will be able to stand firm and uphold the dignity and the respect of our various countries.
Our primary objective now and in the future are wrapped up around three key figures. We will pursue truth with no agenda. We will invest and back in Nigeria storytelling, and we will consistently bring people together.
Is we get news stories and then we sit down and talk about how we can make it better. What will our audience learn? What would make a Gen Z stop and listen or take something out of this news?
Students on their parts are happy to gain new knowledge about the journalism profession and hope to practice what they've learned.
What I would say to anybody that wants to study mass comm is not just sitting down and writing English. There's a lot that goes into it. It's not that course that they made it out to seem where it's just like, oh, it's the simple course that you go. There's a lot that goes into it.
The group want journalists to do their job diligently.
For journalists to exercise their duties as the fourth estate in any country, they are encouraged to tell the truth at all times, be fearless and not be biased, as it is the only way they can protect the society. Maria Mohammed, TVC News, Abuja.
And that's it on TVC Midday News. For more updates on the stories we are monitoring, you can visit our website on www.tvcnews.tv. You can also follow us on our social media handles, Facebook, Instagram, and on X at TVC News NG. On YouTube, we are live at TVC News Nigeria. Thanks for watching.